Getting off work and it being the winter months, it was Zwifting for me tonight. My plan was to do this group workout focused on threshold, which I did. After my cool down, my legs felt pretty good. So then I was looking around and I saw this race. And that's where things got tough. Hey cycling community, this is Steve Grusis, the Cycling Greek. This was a 12-mile, predominantly flat course in Watopia. As soon as we took off, and for quite a few minutes after that, my legs were telling me, hey, we already did our work. You're not going to get a lot out of us. After a while, the pain subsided, but it never really went away. It was at that time I decided, I'm just going to stay in here and hang out for as long as I can. My main goal would then be to finish with the main peloton. Once we had bunched up and I moved to the front of this 42-rider pack, somebody had attacked. I was hoping the pack would just let him burn so I can get a little more rest. And it looked like they were doing that. Now, there was a rider that didn't want to do that, and he started bridging up to the other rider, and so they were able to get together. The pack reacted, but not in a forceful way. They slowly started increasing their speed. My legs are starting to scream again, and I just don't want to lose a draft, so I'm doing what I can just to stay connected with the pack. We're down to about 26 riders in the front pack. As we're getting a little closer, and to my surprise, riders are attacking out of the pack in order to bridge up to the two leaders. About 3 or so riders make it up to the leaders and form a larger group, and these guys don't slow up when they connect. They just keep going. Now the pack is starting to get nervous. Me, I'm getting nervous because I'm just trying to hang on to the pack. I'm not thinking about getting up to the leaders. Eventually, what's left of the peloton makes it up to the leaders. At this point, I'm hoping that everyone just settles down, there's no counterattacks. Because of the workout I did before this, I just can't generate enough power. Nor can I sustain any large amounts of power. And that is what makes this goal for my race much tougher. For the next mile or so, there was an attempt or two to get away by one rider or another rider, but the pack wasn't going to let them go. Jumping here to the 9-mile mark, there was another effort made, and the difference is that this rider just kept it up, started stretching out the pack, and again, I was starting to feel it in my legs and doing everything I could just to stay on somebody's wheel. Thankfully, that rider finally let up. I floated up to the fronts. That gave me a little bit of buffer, which I needed because the pack really didn't slow up that much after that. For the next few miles, there were some minor attacks. Now, the pack wouldn't let them go, that's why I call them minor, but what it was doing to me was sucking the energy out of my legs. I just couldn't produce as much power as I was doing earlier in the race, which wasn't a lot because of the workout I was doing before that. I jumped to 2.3 miles to go because this is where the action started to happen. Now we started getting attacks, and the whole pack was surging, and I was having even more trouble. Now, what's happening with me is that I'm getting to these what I call decision points, where I'm just about to drop, with one more heartbeat, but in this case, my heart rate was low. It's whether my legs can even sustain the wattage that I'm doing for another few seconds. It would be so easy to say, yeah, I've blown a gasket and slow down, when I really had another second or two that may have enabled me to stay with the pack all the way to the end. We are now at 1.5 miles to go. Our pack is whittled down to just under 20. I see the others attacking out in front. All I'm trying to do is just stay on somebody's wheel so I can get a little bit of draft so I don't have to put out so much wattage. Now, I have to admit that I'm thinking that those guys in front may have gone too soon. At least I'm hoping they've gone too soon, that they're going to blow a gasket, and that the group that I'm with, that I'm riding wheels on, that they're going to pull me up to those guys and I'm going to have a nice placing. At this point, we are stretched out even more. Not only can you tell by the main video here, but if you look in the upper right-hand corner, we have that snake kind of look. Fortunately, I'm toward the front. And even better, the attackers that were stretching out the pack, they weren't able to sustain it. So now I'm toward the front, and maybe, just maybe, I'll get that good placing I was thinking about. The problem is, I'm having trouble getting to 300 watts. We are now under a mile. What I neglected to mention, especially for those not familiar with my channel, is that I am 68. Oh look, I'm standing right now. I'm standing because I just can't generate enough power sitting down, so I need to give my legs a little break. As you can well tell by my insert picture on the lower left-hand corner, I am on the edge, and I'm toward the back of this 16-rider pack. And there's a couple of riders about 3 seconds and 4 seconds behind us. If I could generate more power, I would. I just can't, so I'm just trying to stay connected to wheels again for that draft effect. It's now half a mile to go, and I know hell hasn't broken loose yet. And the riders behind us, they're about 5 and 6 seconds behind us. So if I get dropped, I have a little bit of buffer available so I don't get caught. I'm in the second row and 0.4 miles to go. My wattage has dropped because I need a little bit of rest, so now I'm trying to keep the wattage up, and I do hit 300 just to be able to stay on the wheels. Everyone is starting to go. At 0.2 miles to go, I'm at the back and losing contact. The group that's behind me is about 6 and 7 seconds now. 500 feet to go, I eased up just for the moment, and now I'm hitting it again because I don't want to get caught. And I don't. I say this is close enough. Technically, I met my goal. I hope you enjoyed this video and you got something out of it. As always, remember, comment, like, subscribe, and share this. The Cycling Greek.